Welcome back to JCE Connect. In this session, let us move to the Module 5, in which the first topic will see with PDCP overview. Okay, as we know, LTE is a packet switched network from end to end, that is designed primarily for high-speed data services. Means the efficiency of the LTE for high-speed service. In order to support quality of service requirements of different IP applications, since LTE uses the concept of bearer as the central element of quality of service control. Since the bearer service is defined between the packet data network gateway, that is a GW, PDN, and user equipment, and maps to a specific set of quality of service. Okay. As we know, the LTE architecture is divided into user plane and control plane. Okay, that will be divided into a stack in which the user plane is responsible for transporting IP packets carrying application specific data from private data network and user equipment. That is done by encapsulating the IP packets in a evolved packet core, that is EPC specific protocol, in which the PDN gateway to the E node B using GPRS tunneling, okay, is a routed packet between the two layers. Okay, therefore, the E node B, the packets are transported to the user equipment using packet data convergence protocol. We call it as a PDCP. Okay, it is a packetized transmission between the two user entity and your E node B, that is a nearby base station. We call it as a PDCP. Okay, since it is a signaling between the mobility management and the UE type of signaling can be handled over control plane. Okay, this is the architecture view in which, okay, how the PDCP overview has been given here. I hope you can see. Okay, it is associated with control plane and user plane. Okay, as we have discussed, it is divided into two entities. Okay, that is each radio bearer is associated with one PDCP entity. Such type of PDCP is given for the one radio bearer service, in which each PDCP entity is associated with one or two RLC entities depending on radio bearer's characteristic. Okay, that is PDCP is used only for radio bearers mapped on DCCH and DTCH logical channels. I hope you can see how the PDCP has been given in the user plane and the control plane. We have in the user plane sequence numbering, header compression, ciphering, and add PDCP header. In control plane, sequence number, integrity protection, ciphering, and adding a PDCP header. We'll see one by one how the operation will be carried out here. Okay. That is, for each radio bearer is associated with one PDCP entity. Okay, as we have discussed. Okay, since PDCP entity is associated with one or two RLC entities in unidirectional or bidirectional. That is, it will be communicated in the both the way. Okay, since PDCP is used only for the radio bearers. Okay, let us move on to the next the content, okay, of the PDCP. Under user plane, the header compression and decompression of IP data flows with the robust header compression ROHC protocol. Okay, in the second step, the ciphering and deciphering of user plane data. In the third step, in sequence delivery and reordering of upper layer PDUs at the handover. During the handover condition, okay, the sequence delivery will be reordered. In the fourth, buffering and forwarding of upper layer PDUs from the serving E node B to the target E node B during handover operation. In the fifth step, the timer based discarding of SDUs in the uplink. Similarly, in the control plane, the ciphering and deciphering of control plane data, integrity protection and verification, and transfer of control plane data. These are the basic steps under which the PDCP is working. And further, the PDCP and PDUs can be divided into two categories. That is PDCP data PDU and PDCP control PDU. In the data PDU, it is used in both control and user plane to transport higher layer packets, okay, and mainly used to convey either user plane data or compressed or uncompressed IP packet over control plane data and containing RFC message and message authentication, since the message authentication will be performed in PDCP. Similarly, in the control, and it is mainly used within the user plane to convey PDCP status and report delivery, report during handover, and feedback information for the header compression, since it is peer-to-peer signaling between PDCP entities at two ends. Okay, let us see with what is the purpose of MAC and RLC layer. Okay, the main services and functions of RLC sublayer include the transferring and receiving PDUs from upper layers and error correction through ARQ. Okay, if ARQ will indicating there is an occurrence of errors and it will be corrected. Concatenation, segmentation, and reassembly of RLCs. It is only for UM and AM data transfer. Then in resegmentation, RLCs of RLC data and PDUs for AM data transfer. In sequence of delivery, upper layer PDUs for UM and AM data transfer. And duplicate detection. Okay, if any duplication will be occurred, okay, that will be corrected. Okay, similarly, the RLC re-establishment. Okay, that is LTE defines two MAC entities, one in the user equipment and one in the E node B. The exact functioning performed by the MAC entities are different in the UE from those performed in the E node B. That is, the main services and functions of MAC layer include the mapping between logical channel and transport channel, okay, and multiplexing and demultiplexing. There is a MAC SDUs belonging to one or different logical channels, and also scheduling, error corrections, priority handling, transport format selection, and padding of MAC PDUs, okay, for the data. These are the main services under which the MAC sublayers will be performing for the operation to be carried out. Okay, that is what if I say padding of a MAC, okay, it is how much bit of data will be get padding here, because as we've seen this is a 16 bit we may get with 7 by 20, 16 by 20 data bit formats. Okay, no the formats of different RLC, okay, as we have discussed also, like a framing info, there is we have a FI field, in which FI field will be indicating that whether RLC SDU is segmented at the beginning or at the end of the data field. And the length indicator, we have length indicator in which indicating the length of the data byte, it will be included. If at all any extension bit will be there, it will be indicated. There's various data formats will be seen, okay, for segmenting and desegmenting of the data. Since the MAC layer receives data from the RLC as a MAC SDUs, okay, and passes this MAC PDUs to the physical layer. Since if I see the reliability of the HARQ protocol, it is determined by the error rate of the feedback. Since it is costly to achieve a sufficiently reliable HARQ ACK feedback, the solution adopted in LTE is to use a second layer ARQ protocol, which is to correct the error event due to HARQ feedback errors. This additional ARQ protocol provides a much more reliable feedback protected by the CRC. Is the CRC technique through which it will protecting the data. Okay, and similarly in the ARQ retransmission is triggered by an ARQ NAK, non-acknowledgement, received at the transmit side of RLC entity. That is, the status reporting is triggered by setting the polling the field of the RLC data PDU to 1. Okay, if I want to see this one, okay, like in LTE, like ARQ and RLC layers, okay, there is a transmission between the between the E node B and the user equipment. The both of them are terminated in the E node B, which enables the tighter interconnection between the ARQ and ARQ protocols. The benefit what you get here from this architecture includes fast handling of residual ARQ errors and variable ARQ transmission size. This is what the operation benefit what you get from the LTE ARQ architecture. Okay, that is like if you can see like a MAC layer when it is performing with like a RLC layer. Okay, that is like when error correction is happening. Okay, which has a tight interaction with the ARQ request and the RLC layer, and it will be like it will be through the like a CRC coding, okay, in which it will detect the occurrence of the error and it will resolve with the ARQ data bit. This is what in today's session we have seen with how the RLC and MAC in the user plane and the control plane, the transferring operation will be performed, and what is the main purpose, okay, of the two plane, okay, for the operations. Okay, thank you.